Hello everyone and welcome once again to another anxiety busting video, or at least I hope so. Okay, so I have had and get a lot of people asking me how I cured my anxiety and learned to live anxiety free. Well, I have done videos on my journey, so please go and watch them. But there are some things that you can do that are going to certainly help you along. I can't tell you how to cure your anxiety because it's all got to be done from within. There really is nothing that can cure your anxiety apart from you. And these are really, you know, really hard pills to swallow, to be honest. And I can remember struggling with it myself because you just want help. You just want someone to tell you, how can I put this right? I want my life back. And, oh, if I take this pill, will I get my life back? And, well, no, because anxiety isn't something normally that just happened overnight, even though it may feel like it. You may have just it suddenly started with anxiety, or what you think you've suddenly started with anxiety. But 9 out of 10 times, anxiety has been there, living in you from an early age, and it's crept up. It's like, I always sort of explain it as you've got an empty glass and you've got a drip of water going into that glass, and all bad events and how you deal with events, the blaming yourself, guilt and things like that, all drip, 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 drip in this glass, and then one day, boom, the glass overflows. You're on a laptop or a computer, you know yourself, you're giving it lots of instructions to do, you're tapping buttons and clicking your mouse, and eventually, if you're doing it too often, it just thinks, sod this, and absolutely freezes. And that's what your brain's like, and that's what's happened if you're struggling with extreme anxiety. Your brain has just decided, bang. There's no cure overnight for that. It's took years to get like that, and it's going to take, I won't say years to get out of it, because it doesn't. I was extreme. I went from literally room bound, not even room bound, corner of a room bound. I mean, literally panicking in a corner, my head in my arms, crying, shaking, almost constantly, to pretty much, I'd say 3 months were quite intensive therapy. And then I'd probably say another 3 were getting my life back on sort of track. But that isn't what cured my anxiety. That's what got me on the right track. I made life changes, life choices that cured my anxiety. So I'm coming on now to give you some hints, tips and things that you can do that are going to help with your anxiety. One of my biggest things that helped was taking back the power, realizing that what you're thinking and what you're reacting to are just your thoughts. It's thoughts. They're not facts. They're thoughts. And that doesn't come easy, that one. So it's a bad number one. But that's number one. To realise, to make the decision, these are just thoughts. I'm taking back control. Now, to take back control, things have got to change. It can't go on how it is. You can't carry on how you are now. Not if you're struggling day in, day out. It's tiring. It's exhausting. It's awful. So my number 2 would be learn to breathe. Now that sounds bananas because you've breathed for how many years you've been alive, but really, really study it, research it. Knowledge is the power of anxiety. You build up the knowledge and you will beat anxiety. There is a link on the group about diaphragmatic breathing. Learn, research, gain knowledge on diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing from the diaphragm and not from the chest. Breathing from the chest, you're going to be taking short, sharp, shallow breaths. We live on them for how long, but we become anxious or we get problems. The correct way of breathing is diaphragmatic breathing, blowing a balloon up inside your belly. This in itself is extremely powerful. It calms the nervous system naturally without you doing anything, just learning it. It's naturally calming to the nervous system and anxiety symptoms will calm down. So, breathing. Whilst we're talking about breathing, I'd probably say meditation. Now, the reason I've linked that so closely to breathing is because within deep meditation, you do know your breathing. You pay attention. You're showing up in your life. And by breathing calmly, learning diaphragmatic breathing, breathing calmly, and then going on to meditation and being able to be within your breath and pay attention to your breath, you will realize, well, the first time I mastered this, and blimey heck, it took some time to master this, it really did. I struggled mastering this, but once I'd mastered it, I was hooked. It was like a drug. The first time I mastered it, I can remember it as clear as it was yesterday. I was doing this meditation and I'd been doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And like many, I was thinking, oh, I'm not getting in the zone. This isn't helping. And there is no zone. There is no bad meditation. Just practice the breathing. Just be within the breath. And one day, and it won't happen every time, I meditate all the time. And very rarely do I get this feeling. But going from anxiety and anxious to this feeling was just amazing. And I can remember it. I just felt like all my muscles relaxed. It was just like someone had sucked all the tension out of me and my muscles just went floppy and it's like, oh, wow. An amazing feeling. So yeah, meditate. Really stick with it. It's not going to come easy. But don't try too hard. Look up John Kabat-Zinn. Don't try too hard. There's no right or wrong meditation. Just by being there, you're meditating. So meditation. Along with meditation, I'd go for mindfulness. Very closely linked, but slightly different. Mindfulness is a day-to-day way of life. Excuse me. It's not a therapy, it's a way of life. It's the biggest change you will make to your life. And it's as simple as trying to be present in every moment of your life rather than being in autopilot and not really knowing. It's like now, I'm here talking to you on the phone and I'm sat in the chair, my back's up against the chair, I can feel my bum against the thing, my feet are planted firmly on the ground. I'm here, I've shown up for this, And it's living your life, everything you do, mindfully, actually being present. And if you can pull that off, even if you can pull 60% of your life off, that's 60% of your life that your mind is present. It's not running away, it's not chatter, 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 chatter in the background, your subconscious mind. It's with you, it's working with you. You're present, you're alive. Powerful, extremely powerful. On top of them, my next would be exercise. This doesn't have to be extreme exercise. If you're mega fit and you want to do extreme exercise, great, do it. Get all the adrenaline out of your body. Brilliant way. But, like I say, I was room bound. And when I first started recovery, I literally, and this is no word of a lie, I literally could not stand for longer than 1 minute. I was that exhausted of panic every day. I was absolutely wasted away. My muscle wastage was unbelievable. I was extremely weak. I had to time each day because I started just being on my feet and I did 1 minute. And then the next day I did 1 minute and 20 seconds. And the next day I did 1 minute and 40 seconds. This is just standing. And then I started walking for 1 minute and then 2 minutes and then 3 minutes. This was around the house. And I did this for weeks. And then I went outside and stood on the doorstep. And I ended up in tears then, absolutely overwhelmed, and came back in. And then I walked a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. If you're that extreme, you can do it, but do it in baby steps. If you've not got to that extreme and you are living your life, but just an anxious life, exercise, have a walk, 10 minutes a day. That's all it takes. Just 10 minutes a day, just have a walk. After exercise, I would say, I was going to say self-love, but self-love is such a massive thing. I would make sure there's something in your life that you can focus on, but that's yours. So many people say my children, and I understand that, I do, because I went for months where I couldn't even have my children in the same room as me because I couldn't stand the laughing and the voice or anything. I was so sound sensitive. So believe me, I understand people saying, I just want to enjoy time with my children. But try and have that as a family event. Think of something for you, just you. Whether that is getting a anxiety colouring book and concentrating and colouring, painting pebbles, maybe taking up sewing or something that you've enjoyed in the past maybe and stopped it for whatever reason. Maybe it's playing a piano, playing a guitar, musical instrument, gardening, whatever that is. Have one thing, at least one thing, just for you, for now. And then maybe let's include into this love and kindness from somewhere else. So this could be loving and cuddling a pet, loving and cuddling a partner, loving and cuddling your children, really embracing love and really getting that warm feeling, however you decide to do it, if you can. Some people aren't in that position. The most important thing is something for you. Pick something for you. But then after that, love and kindness throughout others. My next thing would be probably just thinking about yourself, just diet. What you're consuming. Not going into a mega life-changing diet, but I'd drop your alcohol, your caffeine, and your sugar, because the three things that are increasing your anxiety. Actually, just by dropping alcohol, caffeine, or sugar, you might find your anxiety is almost gone. It's known, so try that. I think they would be my biggest changes, I would say, incorporate into your life. Another big one, and I think I'm going to finish it there because this video has gone for 16 minutes and I try and make them 10 so that you're not sat there looking at a phone for too long. And that's a good one, actually. Down phone time. But anyway, another big one would be journal. Make a list. List everything. To-do list. Make a to-do list. Baby steps. If you don't manage something on that to-do list, don't worry about it. But a little to-do list, but not only a to-do list, a thought list. So try to recognise any thoughts that are trying to do you damage. And remember, right back at the start, they're only thoughts. So if it's saying, I've got a headache, I've got brain hemorrhage, I've got chest pain, I've got a heart attack, I've got a lump on my arm, it must be cancer, whatever it is, I'm not good enough, and all, whatever the thoughts are, there's a video on intrusive thoughts and stuff like that, and trigger thoughts. Go on, any of them thoughts you recognise, write them down, and then next to them, put, a few conscious facts next to them. I think I'm going to leave it there. There are more, but this video's knocking on a bit, and they're the really key. You incorporate these things that I've just said there into your life, and it's going to change. It's going to change, because 9 out of 10 times, you don't give yourself time. Life takes over. We don't give ourselves time. And my next one, last one, big smiles. Big smiles at night time before you go to bed. Big smiles in the morning when you wake up. Gratitude before you go to bed. At least 3 things you're grateful for. 1 thing that you're proud of. Now, if you've started any of these after watching this video, you've got a lot to be proud of. I'll be proud. Because honestly, to do this together, you've got to make change. There's quite a few changes I've just listed here. So good luck. You can do it. You really can do it. You've got this. You really have. You may try and tell yourself you can't, and this is just the way it's meant to be. Believe me, it's not. You can do this. You can beat anxiety. I beat anxiety. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. Good luck. If any other videos help, please subscribe to the channel, like it. If you think anybody else can benefit from any of these, share them, please. The more people that can be helped, the better. But yeah, for now, good luck. Be kind to yourself. Please be kind to yourself and change. Make that change and you will beat anxiety. Bye-bye.